Welcome back, kids. I hope you learned those words, how words are very important to be careful what we're saying. What comes out of our mouth can really encourage someone or discourage someone. So the craft that we're going to do today is kind of give you a little example of what those encouraging words can do versus what those discouraging words can do. And there's some things, if you'd like to do this experiment, you need to gather together. And you just basically need empty water bottles. Okay, you're going to need 2 of them. All right, so you have one that's going to be for discouraging. You see the little sad faces on here. All right, and I put it for blue because sometimes when you're feeling blue, blue's a good color. And then when you're feeling sunshiny and happy and all of that stuff, you have encouraging words. Okay, so that way you can see the difference of these, even if you don't see the encouraging words or discouraging words. So just so you know the difference, so you're going to need 2 empty water bottles. All right. And some of the other things that we're going to use today, we're going to need a balloon for each of the bottles. All right, so we have balloons. These may not be the best balloons for this experiment, but just find something. And if you want to put a smiley on one and you want to put a sad face on another, feel free. It is definitely a little challenging to do that. I learned, all right? But you can make a sad face on one, all right? And you can also make a happy face on another if you want to, all right? And you could, if you have a funnel, that would probably be ideal. I did not have a funnel, so again, you can either take an empty bottle and have your mom or dad cut the top off, and then you can actually use this like a funnel, all right? Just in case you don't have one, because you're going to be putting things into those balloons, all right, as part of our experiment. So in order to get it in, it's very hard to get something in this balloon. So if you use a funnel or you use something like I used, it's a little lid, and it has like a little nozzle on it. You can actually slide that over, and I just want to show you this. But you will need also, some of the things you're going to need are flour, and you're going to need baking soda, all right? You're going to need vinegar, white distilled vinegar. Get a couple little cups. All right, get some measuring spoons, okay, and I think that's pretty much it, but if I forgot something, you'll see as I'm doing this, all right? And if you need the instructions, we'll make sure that these are on the Facebook, either like in the distribute on YouTube, so just kind of look for them and we'll make sure they're provided if you'd like to follow through and do this experiment. But like I said, I'm using the lid it was actually from the milk jug, and that works really well. But what you're going to need is actually 6 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, all right? So just regular flour, and you're going to need 6 teaspoons of baking soda. And make sure I get that right. It's actually 2 tablespoons of baking soda and 2 tablespoons of flour. So we're going to do 6 teaspoons. All right. So just so that you know. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to start filling one up with my all-purpose flour, just to get these ready. And I found that using just the teaspoons, putting 6 of them in, actually works a little easier than using tablespoons. So I'm just going to get this in. And if you have a butter knife, we'll teach you little skills of, like when you're cooking, you kind of use a butter knife to straighten this across. We're not in the kitchen, so it does make it a little more challenging. So bear with me. All right, so we're going to put this in. Just tap it in. And then you kind of tap it to get it into your balloon. This is the hardest part of this experiment, all right, just so that you know. But you'll tap it in there, and you'll continue on, so you have 6 teaspoons of flour in your one balloon, all right? And that one is going to go in your sad face balloon, all right? And then you're going to do the same thing for your happy face. And again, you're going to go through, and it's 6 teaspoons for that as well. Now, being that I know it's going to take a long time to fill those balloons, I did it in advance. So we have our one filled up already with our flour, and we have our one filled up already with our baking soda. Okay, doesn't that make it a lot easier? But what I want you to think about, because we learned in this lesson that when we say encouraging things, nice words, okay, and I made this little bag, and it's a smiley face. It's nice words, uplifting words, thoughtful words, compliments, words that inflate. They make you feel good, right? So we have that one. Well, we know that when we do that, when we say nice things to people, how do we feel? We feel good, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to start our experiment. All right, we're going to put, for each of these, we need to actually have a 1/4 cup of our vinegar. So we're going to get our vinegar. I'm going to fill this up, and I do need to get my glasses on because Miss Donna can't see some of these things without glasses on. So I'm going to put my glasses on, and we have to make sure we measure correctly. So a quarter is 1/4, in case you're wondering. Just make sure you get that pretty well where it needs to be. So that's a quarter. And you're going to need to have a 1/4 cup of vinegar in each one of our bottles. So you're going to pour this in very carefully and have your mom or your dad help you with these experiments. I really won't want to see them come home and have all your stuff all over the counter and having big messes. So, you know what, make sure mom and dad are aware that you're going to try these experiments out. Okay, so that's our first one. All right, and the same thing for our other one. Again, we need a 1/4 cup. Okay, so there's our 1/4 cup for this one. And again, very carefully pour it into your little plastic bottle. And that's the first step. Okay, so we have our discouraging bottle and we have our encouraging bottle with our liquid in there. Okay, so we're gonna get this, put this right out of our sight and get some of these things out of the way. And again, I brought extra balloons in case anything goes wrong. You know, you have an extra balloon. But then this is a kind of a tricky spot. We're going to put these on our bottles. All right, so we have our encouraging one. And when I say encouraging, what do you think? You think positive, okay? And when I say discouraging, you think negative, right? Things that are not going to be happy. So we're going to put these on very carefully, and just be real careful when you do this. I'm going to actually tip it, so I apologize that I'm doing it in this angle, but I want to just do it this way so that I can show you. And I want you to think of some discouraging things. Think about what Rudy was saying to Gabby, okay? I don't like you. You're not nice. I think he used hate maybe. I don't know what he said, but he said some different things that were not very nice. And what you're going to be doing is putting that flour into your bottle. So it's going to be pouring in there, all right? And just let it go down. What I have noticed that sometimes the flour doesn't want to go in very easily, but just work with it. Now, I had these pre-loaded, so again, it was something that when you preload them, it's going to stick to the inside of your balloon a little bit. But just give it some patience. We have to be patient. Remember we learned about patience, kindness, joy, all those things. So we have to be patient and let that go through. All right, and he's going to be kind of feeling bad because he's sad, right? Remember, he's sad. And drop that flour in, so it's going in the bottom. Okay. What other discouraging words? Can you think of some? Yeah, there's a bunch of them. So we want to try to avoid those bad words. Because like I said, we don't feel good, they don't feel good when you use them. So it's pouring in there, all right? And where is he so far? There he is. He's deflated. Okay, he's not feeling very good. So now we're going to do our encouraging part. So I'm going to bring this over. I'm going to put our balloon on for our encouraging bottle. So here we go. Bear with me. Put this on. And now we need to add let's see, encouraging words. You're pretty. You're nice. Oh my goodness, you're all those things. And look what happens right away. Encouraging words inflate us. They pick us up, they bring us up. So if you want to just think of it that way, is like every time you say those discouraging words, we're deflated. And every time you say those encouraging words, we're inflated. We're perked up, we're built up, okay? And we want to just remember that because, again, that proverb that we learned was from Proverbs 12, verse 18. The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. So I hope you enjoyed that. Give it a try at home. See how you like it. Teach your parents what we learned today. But it was wonderful being with you. And again, until we see each other next time, God bless.